feed for all that is sports. I'm your host, Alden K. Today, regarding Arizona sports, we're going to be talking about the Cardinals getting blown out in embarrassing fashion against the Green Bay Packers, 34-13. And then we're going to be talking about the Phoenix Suns wrapping up their preseason as they get ready for the regular season against the Clippers. And then we're going to be moving on to the Diamondbacks and their Gold Glove finalists. They got 5 players that can get a Gold Glove this year, guys. ASU beating Utah 27-19. U of A losing 41-19 to BYU. And then lastly, in our final segment today, we're going to be talking about the Cardinals versus Chargers. Monday Night Football, everybody. It sucks. So, once again, guys, you're watching the AZ Sports Zone on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Alrighty, welcome to the AZ Sports Zone on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'm your host, Alden K. So we got a lot to talk about regarding Arizona sports. But before we do that, guys, IE Sports Radio has been around for 10 years. Make sure to follow us on all of our socials. If you guys miss any of our shows, you can catch them right here on many different platforms. And then make sure to check out our website, guys, iesportsradio.com. And then if you guys are interested in buying some merch, make sure to check out the shop, as we have a bunch of amazing options that you guys can look at. And then make sure to check out our custom pages, as y'all can see mine's right here. But don't just check out mine, check out everybody's, guys. Even if you're an Arizona sports fan, check out everybody's. And then make sure to follow both of the Twitter accounts that I currently run, starting off with my IE Sports Radio Twitter account, AZ Sports and IE, where I retweet a bunch of Arizona news and pretty much give updates on anything as the games go by or any news that breaks out, this and that. And a lot of the stuff I post on Twitter, Instagram, whatever, I'll talk about it on my next episode. So a little bit we'll be talking about today. And then my personal Twitter account at the AZTRL, where I talk a bunch of trash. And I'm brutally honest. If you guys want to get a good laugh on me talking trash on all of my rivals, you guys can follow that account right there. Dodgers, I don't care if you're up 3-1, your time of choking is coming anyway, whether it's the Yankees or Mets or Guardians, whatever. But yeah, make sure to go give that a follow. And then check out our sponsors, guys, starting off with Planet Jerky, Premium Brisket Beef Jerky, and Seal the Deal Wax Seals. And guys, before we get into the Arizona sports segment, we're going to go into a quick sponsor break to hear a word from our sponsors. So make sure to go check them out. Once again, guys, you're listening to AZ Sports Zone on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, single-A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all-brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
IE Sports Radio fans, be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the iSports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
Welcome back to the AZ Sports Zone on the IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'm your host, Alden K. Yep, guys. Shout out to our sponsors, Planet Jerky, Premium Brisket Beef Jerky, Seal Deal Wax Seals, and of course, shout out to the IE Sports Radio itself. Like I say every episode, blessed to be on here and talking sports with all you fine people. So, with that being said, let's get into our first segment, which is, oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. This team, man. They never continue. They never fail to disappoint. I'll tell you that much. Man, just this game was terrible. Beyond terrible. So bad. Like I don't even, man. I don't even know where to start with this game. I really don't even know. So we got blown out against Green Bay, as y'all could see the score right here. We got our ass kicked. Um, man, like this game was bad. Like just bad. Like coming into this week, if y'all saw my episode last week, I was with Bernie Bango. Yeah, I thought this would be a close game. I thought it would be a shootout, and well, it was a shootout, just not on our part. So, man, like last week or the week before, I should say, the week before against the Niners, it was such a fluke at this point. Like that's pretty much how you can say that game went now. Because coming into this game, I thought we had a decent chance. Jordan Love wasn't 100% healthy. Um, I mean, shoot, I thought at least we would have a chance to upset this team, but from beginning to end, it was terrible. Like, I did not think Jordan Love was gonna throw 4 touchdowns on us with the way our defense played the game before. I thought our defense was finally getting it together when they held the Niners offense to 0 points in that second half. Like, I mean, it feels like every single week we watch the Cardinals. It feels like one week we're so confident in this team, we're so hyped. You know, we upsetted the Niners, we blew out the Rams, and then like there's always that one week where we feel good about our team, and then the next week we just get sent back into reality, and that's how this game went. Like, don't even get me started on the freaking run game today. I mean, James Conner had nothing going in that game, and I said on my last episode, if the Packers take away the run game and make Kyler Murray force feed the ball to whoever the hell he's throwing it to, the Packers are going to win this game. And that's exactly what they did. They took away the run game. They made Kyler Murray throw the ball, which Kyler Murray didn't play that bad. He didn't turn the ball over or anything. He didn't throw a pick. He had 240 passing yards and he had 1 touchdown pass. So you can't blame Kyler Murray for this game. No, no, no. To all you Call of Duty jokers out there, to all you Cardinal Kyler Murray haters out there, the fans, I should say, who want him gone, you can't blame him for this game. I know the media is going to find a way to do it, but as much as y'all want to do it, you can't blame him for this game. The defense, and you know what? I don't want to blame the defense too much because, I mean, number one, we all thought we were getting Darius Robinson back in this game, and we didn't. So that didn't really help a lot. And it's kind of hard for our defense to keep up with the opposing offense when the defense is consistently on the field for the entirety of the game. It's like our offense was not able to move the chains on third down. They weren't able to really gain some momentum offensively, and our defense was on the field for quite a while. I mean, there was a point where we didn't have time of possession for, I think, 10 straight minutes or something like that. So time management was definitely key in this game, and our defense, you could tell they were just flustered. They were tired. They got tired so easily. It was up in Lambeau Field, and it was rainy there too. And I'm not trying to use the weather as an excuse, but the Cardinals are definitely not used to playing in weather like that. So I knew that was going to be a bad factor on our part coming into this game. So, you know, what else? The injuries. You want to talk about the injuries? Like, the injuries played probably the biggest factor for us in this game. Marvin Harrison has a concussion now. I'm pretty sure Trey McBride got re-injured. I already said Darius Robinson didn't play. Sean Murphy Bunting got hurt, even though he sucks. Kaiser White got hurt, but I'm pretty sure he came back. Mac Wilson got hurt, but he did come back. So it's the injuries continue to pile up. At the beginning of the season, we weren't dealing with injuries at all, and it was looking really good. I thought we had a chance to actually stay healthy this season, but so far we have not been able to stay healthy. It's crazy. It's brutal. So but yeah, shout out, hey, Green Bay, you guys did your job. You guys did your thing. You guys are 4-2 now, so all credit to you guys. All credit to the Packer fans. I know you guys did your job. Kicked our ass. I mean, there's nothing else really to say. And now we have to move on to Monday Night Football against the Chart. Why do you guys give us Monday night games, NFL? Why do you guys give the Cardinals any primetime games? Why? This does not deserve whatsoever. Anyway, I want to move on to a segment that some people probably did not see coming. Yeah, Michael Bidwell, sell the team, dude. You are a terrible owner, and I'm trying my best not to rant here. I'm trying my best not to rant. Your family has owned this team since what, the 30s, the 1930s? Your family's owned this team. You guys have not done anything, absolutely nothing, except for what, a World War II title in 1947 or something like that. Really? Bidwell, you are the worst owner in the history of sports. I don't care what anybody says about Jerry Jones. I don't care what anybody says about Dan Snyder, the McCaskies of the Chicago Bears. I don't care what anybody says about freaking who else is a terrible owner. Shad Khan of the Jaguars. Listen, I don't care what anybody says. Sports wide, I'm not just talking about NFL. Sports wide, I don't care what anybody says about any specific owner. They are not as bad as the Bidwell family. All right, they're just your family can't be running a football team for 80 years, 90 years and do absolutely nothing. That is unacceptable. Since the 1930s, The Bidwell families ran this team. I mean, Michael Bidwell, your grandfather had ties to Al Capone, for crying out loud. And that's probably why we suck so much. We probably got the curse of Al Capone or something like that. That's probably why we suck so much. Because the original owner had ties to Al Capone when we were back in Chicago, when they were back in Chicago. So that's probably why we suck so much. And Michael Bidwell, your father, Bill Bidwell, bro, don't even get me started on this guy. At least with Michael Bidwell, he's actually spent a little bit more money than Bill Bidwell did, and that's not really saying much. I mean, at least Michael Bidwell invested in a quarterback, even though that contract is looking hilarious on our part now. But dude, all I got to say about this is our fans deserve a lot better. Our fans deserve a lot better. We have not seen a championship ever. Ever. You went to a Super Bowl. You should have won it. Then again, that Super Bowl loss wasn't really your fault. The referees gave Pittsburgh a touchdown. We should have won that Super Bowl. But unfortunately, the Arizona Sports curse got up to us. I mean, shoot. You guys have wasted so much talent historically on this team. You guys are the reason Fitzgerald doesn't have a ring. You're the reason Kurt Warner didn't win a title with us. You're the reason freaking who else? You guys are the reasons players do not want to come here. You're the reasons why players up and leave after their rookie contract. I can name so many players. Honey Badger, Hassan Reddick, even though his situation's not going well either. Who else? Anquan Bolden, Chandler Jones, our all-time sack leader, by the way. Who else? John Brown, who people probably forgot about, but he was actually good when he was on the Cardinals. Michael Floyd, even though it was his fault. I mean, let's see, who else? I don't even need to name anymore. That enough is alone right there. Like, I'm stunned Fitzgerald was able to spend 17 years under this ownership that these Cardinal fans have to go through every single year in and year out. Like, Arizona sports has been through enough torture, enough sorrow, enough like brutal seasons. Out of every Arizona sports team, the Bidwells are the worst. They're the worst. Sell the team to Matt Ishbia at least. I mean, at least when Matt Ishbia took over the Suns, he at least spends money. He at least wants to win. At least he's trying to win, even though he built a failure of a super team. Well, hopefully we can do something this year. But I'll get to the Suns in a little bit. You suck. You don't even care about this team. You don't care. You'd rather spend money on your own private jet than your organization of a team. I mean, let's be real. Bidwell's only the owner of this team still. Number one, because it's his family's legacy. And number two, it just makes him more money. He doesn't care winning with this team. He doesn't care. If he did care, why didn't he fire Steve Keim a long time ago? If he did care, why does he make stupid head coaching hires like Cliff Kingsbury and Jonathan Gannon? If he did care, why on earth is he not doing anything right now? Losing season after losing season. Every time we make the playoffs, you disappoint. It's because you're not trying. You're not trying to make this team better. And us Cardinal fans deserve better. So Bidwell, sell the team, please. You're not doing us a favor. You're just not. Anyway, guys, with that being said, I apologize for my rant, but with that being said, we are going to go into a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about the Phoenix Suns, wrapping up their preseason, and the Diamondbacks Gold Glove finalist, and we're going to get lastly to college football. And then when we get back from another break, we'll be talking about Chargers and Cardinals. Once again, guys, you're watching the Sports Zone on iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Sports fans, do you like teams that are tough, cities that are tougher, and fan bases that are passionate about their teams? How about teams that are historic and stadiums that are iconic? Then you belong in Chicago, and you need to check out Chi-Town Weekly. Join me, Adam Kernan, every week as we keep up with all things Chicago sports. Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, White Sox, We'll cover them all, plus more. The Windy City is always buzzing, and we'll keep you up on all the big games and big stories. So tune in to Chi-Town Week every week right here on IE Sports Radio. Direct feed for all sports.
Hey, Cleveland and Columbus sports fans. This is Jen B, host of the Show of the Land on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. If you love Cleveland and Columbus sports like I do, be sure to tune in live to the Show of the Land on Tuesdays, where we will cover the Cleveland Browns, Cavs, Guardians, and Monsters. We will also talk about the Columbus Blue Jackets, Crew, Fury, and of course, the Ohio State Buckeyes. We'll also cover other colleges in the area like Akron, Kent State, Cleveland State, Mount Union, John Carroll, Alden Wallace, Youngstown State, among others. So like I said, if you love Cleveland and Columbus sports like I do, be sure to tune in Tuesdays to the Show of the Land with Jen B on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Yep. Shout out to Jen and Adam, man. Go make sure to go check out their shows with Chicago and Cleveland, man. Cleveland Guardians, man. What a win they had the other day. The Guardians, man, they remind me of the Diamondbacks last season, man. They do not quit. They don't quit. And Guardians, if you do make a comeback and take on the Dodgers in the World Series, you guys know what to do. Come on, man. It's been 80 years. Y'all got to win a World Series at some point, man. You guys got to do it. So make sure to go do your thing. But shout out to those guys and shout out to everybody on Ice. You guys make sure to go check out everybody's shows. We have a lot of shows every day, guys. So just go check them out. But let's get into our basketball segment. We're going to be briefly talking about basketball, football, college football, or not football, college football and baseball. We're going to just briefly be talking about it. There's not a lot regarding, so we're going to talk about everything that we possibly can. And then after we get back from our next, we're going to be talking about the Chargers and Cardinals, and I have a surprise guest for you guys. And he was on my show a few weeks ago, so there we go. But the Phoenix Suns wrap up preseason. They just suffered an overtime loss against the LA Lakers. Bronny James had a 4-point masterclass, guys. Shout out to Bronny James. All right, I'm just gonna talk about this. Yeah. So this preseason, there were a lot of good signs. Our stars, everyone aside from the name of Bradley Beal, looked pretty good. I'll get to Bradley Beal here in a second. But Booker and Durant, they look pretty decent. Nurkic and Ryan Dunn, our rookie, and Iguodala, like pretty much every guy you can think of that we would expect to look decent. They've been looking pretty good. They've been living up to expectations, but then again, it is only preseason, so everything is going to be determined when we take on the LA Clippers next Monday, guys, and Kawhi Leonard is out. So, no excuses. You should beat the crap out of the Clippers in their new stadium as they make their new Intuit Dome Stadium debut. That game should be no biggie. Please beat LA. But this Phoenix Suns team, like I said recently, they look like a whole new vibe. No, it's only preseason, but this team looks like a whole new vibe compared to last season. Obviously, Frank Vogel did a terrible job coaching this team. We got rid of him after 1 year. We bring in Mike Budenholzer. an NBA champion, a coach that grew up a Suns fan, so he's already familiar with the Arizona area. And it's definitely looking like he has what it takes to turn this team around this season. He's finally going to be playing Bobo in the regular season, something that Frank Vogel did not do last year, which tended to make a lot of Suns fans angry, including myself. Um, the defense, except for the fourth quarter the other day. Then again, we had our bench players in, but the defense is looking pretty decent. Our big guys were able to make some plays on the glass, blocking shots, this and that. And Bradley Beal, I'll end off my Sun segment with this. Bradley Beal, you better count your remaining days as a Phoenix Sun, man, because if you keep playing the way you're playing in preseason, mind you, I know preseason is normally an area where, okay, our starters need to get their rust off, this and that. But Bradley Beal, if you keep playing the way you're playing, your days as a Phoenix Sun are limited, dude. I mean, turning the ball over, not playing defense. Why is this guy bringing the ball down the court? This guy, give it to Booker or Tyus Jones or something like that. I better not see Bradley Beal play the point guard at all in this upcoming regular season. I better not. I mean, the dude's looking like a quieter Klay Thompson right now. Maybe even a little bit better, but still, you guys know what I mean by that. But Bradley Beal, you know what? We're probably stuck with him honestly because no one wants that contract. But Bradley Beal, count your days. Okay, you're not living up to expectations at all. Ever since we traded Chris Paul for you, and Chris Paul's looking good in San Antonio right now, throwing dimes to Victor Wembanyama. All right, so that's it on the Suns. Let's move on to the Diamondbacks. So the Diamondbacks, guys, the Diamondbacks have 5 Gold Glove finalists. So starting off, it's Christian Walker. I mean, we all expected that, right? Christian Walker, come on now, 2-time Gold Glover. We all expected him to be up there, right? So Christian Walker is the first Gold Glover. Ketel Marte is another Gold Glove finalist. We did see a lot of good defense from him this season. He was injured for a little bit, but when he did play, he looked very good on the defensive part, and we all know what he was capable of doing when he was at bat. So he was the MVP of our team. Offensively and defensively, he's getting his credit where credit's due. He is a Gold Glove finalist at second base. Lourdes Gurriel at left field is a Gold Glove finalist. Now, this kind of surprised me a little bit, right? He did play good defensively. I'm not taking anything away from him on that. He was injured for a little bit, though. I mean, who wasn't injured on this team? I mean, come on now. We dealt with injuries like throughout the entire season, this and that. But there's that. And Jake McCarthy. Jake McCarthy really surprised me. I'm surprised he's a Gold Glover because I did miss Alec Thomas a lot on defense, and it was a lot because Jake McCarthy on defense was kind of questionable. There were a lot of times where he couldn't find the ball. It would lead to doubles or triples if he couldn't get to where the ball was, this and that. Jake McCarthy wasn't making the plays that Alec Thomas did make when he was playing center field last year. But regardless of that, Jake McCarthy is a Gold Glove finalist. I highly doubt he'll win it, but it is what it is. It's nice to see him up there, though. And last but most certainly not least, Gabriel Moreno as the catcher is the Gold Glove finalist. He won the Gold Glove last year as the catcher, looking to win another one. Hopefully he gets it. We all know he's capable of doing. Moreno, man, lock his ass up for years as the Diamondbacks catcher. But man, shout out to the Diamond. And see, I told you guys this. We have 5 Gold Glove finalists. We have the number 1 offense and the number 1 defense, and we still missed the playoffs. And that goes to show you how important pitching is. It goes to show you just how important you need to limit the other team on runs. There were plenty of times where the Diamondbacks scored like 11, 12, 13 runs. And then there were times where we would get blown out. Like, it's like, it goes to show you how important pitching is. And when Jordan Montgomery gets the hell out of this team and we actually bring in some decent guys, our pitching should be better than ever next season. If we get our pitching under control, guys, we're going to make another run. I'm confident in saying that. All right. So lastly, before we go into another break. So college football, Arizona State, man. Arizona State is killing it. We're 5-1 now. We beat Utah 27-19. Dude, Where's our rank at? I don't care if we're playing bad teams. I don't care if this was the first ranked team that we beat since 2021. Where is our rank at? Ohio State's 5-1. We're 5-1. No, I'm just kidding. We're not even close to Ohio State yet. But you guys get my point though, right? I feel like once we win next week, and we will win, we're playing Cincinnati. Hopefully we do win. And guys, let me have my moment. We're 5-1. Let me talk my trash. But yeah, 27-19, we beat Utah. This game I thought we were going to lose, to be honest with you. I thought Utah was going to put us back in reality. But what do I say about Kenny Dillingham? He's coached this team very well. He's brought us to 5-1 this season. We're going to be making a lot of noise for years to come, guys. So get ready for ASU football in the near future. ASU football continues to run college football here in the state of Arizona. I'll get to U of A here in a second, man, because U of A is not looking good. Hold on, give me a sec. Still waking up a little bit. But yeah, so when it comes to Arizona State, where is our rank at, guys? I'll end it with that. And then lastly, U of A loses 41-19 in the hands of BYU. Yeah. U of A, who came into this season, they were ranked, I think, 20th entering this season. They just continue to disappoint. If you're a Wildcats fan, you might want to think about firing the coach at this point. BYU, and honestly, BYU is kind of surprising, right? I think they're 6-0 right now. They're still undefeated. I mean, BYU is looking like a good team so far, despite the teams that they played. But U of A, you guys got to figure something out, man. I mean, look at this. From struggling in New Mexico, NAU, Kansas State, and now BYU. It's not looking good for Wildcat fans, man. But we'll see what happens in the business of U of A. But as far as college football goes in Arizona, yeah, ASU or NCAA, give Arizona State their ranking already. Come on now, we're 5-1. Show us a little bit of love, all right? And yeah, Big 12, ASU's here now, okay? So just be ready for us. With that being said, guys, got my other teams out of the way. We're going to go into a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about the Chargers and Cardinals Monday night game. Once again, why are we playing Monday night? This team sucks. This team sucks. Like, I don't even know why we're on Monday Night Football. This is embarrassing. But we'll see what happens. But once again, guys, you're watching the AZ Sports Zone on the IE Sports Radio. What's that? Your direct feed for all that is sports.
IE Sports Radio. It is your direct feed for all that is sports. It is Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris every Tuesday night right here on IE Sports Radio. Your direct feed for all that is sports. Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris is the most comprehensive view on Philadelphia sports exclusively right here on IE Sports Radio. You know what it is, your direct feed for all that is sports. Tuesday night, IE Sports Radio, Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris.
Hello, ladies and sinners. Hello, sport fans around the world. Hello, IE Sports family. This is Cale Henderson, the host of IE Vegas, the Sin City Sports Show, presented by IE Sports Radio. If you folks are interested in sports in the Vegas area, if you're wanting to have a blast for 1 hour every Tuesday night from 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is a show built for the Vegas sports fans where we feature the Las Vegas Raiders, the Las Vegas Golden Knights, the Las Vegas Aces, and the University of Las Vegas, Nevada Rebels. Hopefully, fingers crossed, MLB team coming soon. Either way, if you folks are looking to have a blast for 1 hour each and every week, tune in Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you folks are interested in Vegas sports news, go to our Twitter at SinCities_IESR, and you can speak with me, the host, Cale Henderson, at Cale_Henderson on Twitter at any time. Be happy to reply. Always willing to reach out to our fans. Again, the Sin City Sports Show, presented by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Yeah, man, Vegas is on the rise, man. Vegas is on the rise. Well, I don't know about football, but you guys know what I mean. The Oakland A's coming into town soon for Vegas. Man, he talks about hockey, man. I don't even screw hockey right now. Anyway, but guys, we're gonna be talking about the Cardinals and the Chargers on Monday Night Football. Give me a sec. I'm trying to. Okay, so before we get into it, you guys already know the drill. I have a special guest coming on here. He was on my show about a month ago. We were talking about Cardinals and Rams, and now he's back to talk about Chargers and Cardinals. The host of the SoCal Supreme Sports Show. It's Taryn Rodriguez. What's up, Taryn? How you doing, man?
Hey, Alden. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate you. Ready to talk my true team, the Chargers, as they take on your Cardinals.
Yeah, so you actually say you're more of a Chargers fan, right? So this will be this will be a little bit this will be a little bit better than that Rams game, which was beautiful. So
yes.
All right, so before we get into our game, so I already talked about my team last week. So the Chargers, they beat the Broncos last week, 23-16. So how did they do in that game?
Well, they got off to an early lead. They jumped out to an early 20-0 lead at halftime, and then they kind of put themselves on cruise control. And then I think fourth quarter came. They took out their starting corners. Bear in mind that they didn't have Asante Samuel Jr. and Jasir Taylor. ASJ is on injured reserve, unfortunately. So that's a big loss for the Chargers. But yeah, the fourth quarter, I will admit the Broncos kind of did get a little bit of some life. But the big change and the big play for the Broncos was that they lost Pat Surtain II early in the first quarter to a concussion. And that really changed the dynamic of the entire game because Pat Surtain is a fantastic corner. He had a pick six against the Raiders the previous week. So I think without him, it really just hampered the Broncos secondary and it just changed a whole lot. But the Chargers had a lot of injuries of their own. They didn't have Rashawn Slater. They didn't have Joey Bosa. Yeah. So it was a little bit tougher than closer than expected. The Broncos did get a chance to onside kick it, but thankfully they haven't onside kicked it in a hot minute. So the Chargers eked away with their win over Denver in Denver, which was the first time in 5 years they've beaten the Broncos in Denver. So that's a nice feather in their cap right there.
Yeah, you talk about injuries. I'll get to that here in a second because Jesus. Yeah, we had Marvin Harrison go out last week. Trey McBride got re-injured. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Trey McBride will be good to go though. And then Mac Wilson and Kaiser White, our best two linebackers. Bilo Nichols is out for the year, so there goes another D line. It's like, geez, it's so brutal right now. So, yeah, let me go through the injury report though, because that's what I normally do. So, all right, so for the Cardinals, and this is as of yesterday's practice. On those who participated, did not, were limited, this and that. So there's actually no specification on if they're going to be playing or not, but this is just based off of yesterday's practice. So we still have Kelvin Beachum, who did not practice with his hamstring injury. Owen Popoe did not practice with a hip injury. Darius Robinson, who we recently brought back from the injured list, still did not participate in practice with that calf injury. Some tells me he won't be playing because of that and because of a personal reason that happened recently with him. So we may not see our other first round rookie defensive lineman play this Monday night. We'll see. Evan Brown was limited with an ankle injury. Marvin Harrison was limited with that concussion, so he was limited. He's still in concussion protocol. Hopefully they don't rush him back or anything like that. Because the last thing we need is our guy getting CTE or something like that. So uh,
Mm-hmm.
Roy Lopez limited with an ankle. Sean Murphy Bunting was limited with a neck injury. Kaiser White was also limited with a knee injury. Garrett Williams was limited with a groin injury. Michael Wilson was limited with an ankle injury. I didn't even know he got hurt last week, but apparently he's hurt as well. Isaiah Adams, our rookie lineman with a thumb issue, was a full participant. Christian Jones, full participant. And Zay Jones was a full participant. So it's looking like Kyler Murray is going to get another weapon to go for the first time this season. Zay Jones coming back from that 5-game suspension. So he'll be good to go. And then for the visiting Chargers, Joey Bosa was a DMP on Thursday with a hip injury. DJ Shark was a limited participant with a groin injury. Tight end Will Disley limited with a shoulder injury. Limited. I'm going to say this wrong. Semi Fehoko limited
Yes.
with a shoulder injury. Christian Fulton DMP with a hamstring injury. Hayden Hurst DNP with a groin injury. Zion Johnson limited with an ankle injury. Quentin Johnston was a DNP with an ankle injury. That's a big one. Deanne Leonard, DNP with a hamstring injury. Lad McConkey was limited with a hip issue. And then lastly, Trey Pipkins limited with a shoulder injury. So both of our teams dealing with some very big injuries. That was a long injury report. So both of our teams look like they're going to be not at their full strength into this game. So how have the injuries played a factor in the Chargers this season? Because for the Cardinals, I mean, it definitely limits our D line. So the pass rush is going to be something that is a factor for us. I do think Justin Herbert will have a lot of time in the pocket for this game. But I mean, Justin Herbert, a lot of fans are criticizing him for so far this season. I don't know what your insight is on that, but as far as the injuries go, how's that played a factor for the Chargers this season?
Yeah, especially on defense, it really hampers the Chargers in terms of that sort of thing. Just because the Chargers have a pretty stout defense, the problem is that when most of them are like missing, it just gets a lot tougher and it puts more pressure on Justin Herbert. Now, in terms of like injuries on the offensive line, that's big, and thankfully the Chargers had the early Week 5 bye to get a little more healthy, get Joe Alt back, which that was big. And I guess I didn't see Rashawn Slater on the injury report. So he should be back this week, which is great. And it's another offensive lineman, the left tackle. So, yeah, the injuries have hurt in terms of like the Chargers. Justin Herbert is pretty much not at full strength, but he's certainly better than he was back when he had the ankle injury in the Steelers and Chiefs games. So I think the injuries have played a big part in the Chargers. But thankfully, the Chargers are doing everything they can to make sure they get at least the best they can possibly can, because their two losses were to the Chiefs and Steelers. Steelers had a stout defense in both of those games. The Chargers were tied 10-10 going into the fourth, and then unfortunately everything that could go wrong just did go wrong. Herbert just wasn't healthy, and every injuries just started to pile up from the offensive line to the defense, and eventually just kind of cost them. And those are two good teams, though, so it's not anything too bad, and they were competitive for the most part.
Yeah, so the Chargers, they did lose to two good teams. They are looking good this year, though. I mean, you guys brought in Jim Harbaugh. Uh,
Yes.
J.K. Dobbins had a great start to the season. I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
really see how he's doing lately, but he's definitely having a resurgence here. Um, so I want to talk about the defense. So the Charger and This is Fox Sports website, so I mean hopefully it's accurate. But the Chargers defense is ranked sixth so far this season,
Oh,
and the Cardinals defense is ranked 27th. So we're at the bottom of the barrel, defensive wise. And our passing defense, on the other hand, Chargers are eighth. They average only 192 passing yards given up a game. So they've really been able to limit the quarterback so far this season. And then the Cardinals on the passing defense are 22nd. They average 220 passing yards given up. So defense wise, so if you're let's see. So if you're trying to So if you're like the Cardinals head coach perspective, so if you're Jonathan Gannon, hypothetically, how are the Cardinals offense? How is their offense going to have to outplay this Chargers defense?
I think it'll have to be with just maybe running the ball and maybe Kyler Murray just doing his thing. Now, it's going to be tough sledding without if Marvin Harrison Jr. doesn't go, but I think the run game has to get going. And the Chargers have done a better job in terms of the run as opposed to years past where they kind of dug through the Rams' hand-me-downs and had that so-called defensive guru and Brandon Staley. But I think running the ball might be a big thing for the Cardinals. I think they got to bank on the run game with James Conner. He's a very shifty running back, and Kyler Murray with his RPOs. I think he has that it factor. Now, obviously, Kyler Murray. Obviously, he's not like the past Kyler Murray or the fresh Kyler Murray. Obviously, he came back from that injury, but he just looks so good. And compared to last year, I think he's going to do a lot of great things for the Cardinals. Because if I recall correctly, I think this is kind of a make or break season for Kyler Murray, just because I hope this doesn't happen. I feel maybe the Cardinals might move away from him if he doesn't get the job done. But I think for Kyler, he's going to be He's going to do his best to try to cook as much as he can.
Yeah, Kyler Murray. I wouldn't say organization-wise it's a make or break year for him because our organization is committed to him. But fan base-wise, on the other hand, a lot of fans are starting to give up on him a little bit. It's year six. I mean, Cardinal fan, we're just desperate to win right now. Like that's how it is. I mean, we haven't won anything ever, so the fans are really just desperate to win. That's why a lot of the media shades Kyler Murray for not really doing anything. He's been to the playoffs one time, got blown out. But his touchdown interception ratio this season, it's actually not that bad. He's only thrown 2 interceptions this season, and he has 7 passing touchdowns. So he's not turning the ball over or anything like that. He doesn't even have a fumble this year, which was an issue he had when he first came into the league. So you can't. I mean, Cardinal fans are going to blame him. That's just how it is. You know, it's a quarterback league nowadays. You blame the quarterback whenever you lose. But realistically, you can't really blame Kyler Murray for our struggles, especially when our defense is ranked 27th. We have a bottom 5 passing or rushing defense. So the Cardinals defense does a lot worse on the run game, which is something I would expect the Chargers to do, is run the ball against our weak defensive line, especially with the injuries we've gone through this season. But rushing defense wise, what you said was actually true. The Chargers have an average of only 97 rushing yards given up per game, and they've only given up 2 rushing touchdowns this season. So definitely doing their thing on that. But as far as our rushing defense goes, we're ranked 29th, and we average 153 rushing yards given up per game, and we've given up 8 rushing touchdowns this season. So that is what I would do if I'm Jim Harbaugh, is run the ball with whoever's backfield. It doesn't matter who you have backfield. One of those guys are going to make a big play on our D line. It's just how it is. As far as passing goes, I mean, Jordan Love threw 4 passing touchdowns on us, and he was not 100%. So it doesn't matter how injured or how healthy Justin Herbert is. Now, this game right here would be a good opportunity for him to really get his passing game going a little bit. I know a lot of people do call Justin Herbert like he's this overrated quarterback. He's another Phillip Rivers, this and that. The stats are going to be there, but he's not going to win games for the Chargers, this and that. So I kind of want to ask that to a Chargers fan, how would you grade Justin Herbert this season, and what do you really think about those fans who really criticize him?
Uh-oh.
Oh,
I'm sorry. The
oh,
play,
you're good.
of course, my job has a blackout. I'm sure we're gonna, but yeah. If you can barely see me, lost my train of thought. Yeah, Justin Herbert's been serviceable. He only has one interception, and it's kind of tough for him to get the blame just because, well, he doesn't really pass that much considering Jim Harbaugh's scheme. So
Right.
I think for Justin Herbert, he gets a solid A minus, maybe B plus, and he hasn't turned it over a whole lot. Now he has been limited just because of that ankle injury, but I think he's done really great for the most part. And in the Broncos game, he got to pass the ball a whole lot more, which I thought was very good. I really think that was big right there. I think the offense needs more of that. I think because everyone, their moms was saying Justin Herbert doesn't pass the ball a whole lot, and the Jim Harbaugh experiment is holding him back. And I agree to that extent, but I think that after the Broncos game, we could put that narrative to rest. So I think Justin Herbert is the face of this franchise, and I really think that people who criticize him need to slow their roll just because he's doing all he can with a bad coaching staff. He was pretty much the only reason why Brandon Staley had a job, because without him, Chargers are probably selecting top 10, top 5 in the draft the past few years. So I think Justin Herbert deserves a lot of credit for all that he's done. And he missed a majority of last season with an ankle injury. So it really doesn't help in that regard as well. But yeah, I think Justin Herbert has been serviceable. He hasn't been the top 10 quarterback that I wish he could have been this season, but I'm hoping he keeps it going. And hopefully Harbaugh lets him dig into his bag of tricks and lets him pass more.
Yeah, and I was like, see, because when I saw the Chargers offseason, like they were one of the teams I was looking at, and they hired Greg Roman as their offensive coordinator, and I was like, at first I was like, what are you guys doing? You have Justin Herbert. This isn't Colin Kaepernick or Lamar Jackson. Like, are you gonna how are you gonna run the ball with Herbert and not let him throw? It's like, what kind of hire was that? But I mean, obviously Jim Harbaugh uh, brought him back in. He was the coordinator with the Niners when he was there, so it was understandable. But at first, I was like, "Are you going to turn Herbert into a dual threat quarterback or something like that?" I mean, that would be interesting to take a look at. But yeah, like you said, he's passing a little bit more last week. Oh, okay. Well, he cut out. Hopefully, he comes back. But if not, then it is what it is. So, but yeah. So, in case he doesn't come back, I'll talk about this. So, if I'm the Chargers, what I'm going to do, if I'm Jim Harbaugh, like I said earlier, is run the ball uh, with J.K. Dobbins. Oh, he's back. There we go.
Yeah, sorry, trying to brighten up my screen a little more, but I guess this is as bright as it'll get.
Oh, you're good.
Of
You're good.
course, yeah,
Yeah. So, like I said, like I was saying, with the Chargers, like I said, if I'm the offensive coordinator, run the ball. That's what he's good at doing. Run the ball, because I just brought up the stats. We're the 29th ranked run defense in the National Football League. Um, and we tend to give up a lot of rushing touchdowns too. And I mean, the Packers, they were, for the few times they did run the ball, Josh Jacobs was finding holes over and over and over again. So that's what I would do if I'm the Chargers on this Monday night game, is run the ball. I mean, throwing the ball, our defense isn't the brightest too. We're ranked 22nd. So the defense, if the Cardinals are going to win, the defense has to do their part. I'm not really concerned about our offense, even though they only put up 13 last week. I think our offense is due for a very good game, hopefully.
oh yeah,
And now would be a good opportunity too. You're facing the Chargers are ranked 6th defensively, so now would be a good time right here to really send a message on beating a really good defense right here. So, and obviously, and honestly, as a Cardinals fan, this is going to feel like an away game, because every time, because the last time we played the Chargers in Phoenix, I went to that game, and there were like there were more Charger fans than Cardinal fans there. It blew my mind. So this is going to feel
Yet
like an
people
away.
will always say the Chargers have no fans. So
Yeah, but they flood our stadium, which is crazy. So yeah, this is going to feel like an away game for us. Every game at home feels like an away game because our fans they just don't show up, I guess. I mean, I can't blame them. But I only go to 2 games a year though, so that's me. 2 games a year. I'm fine with that. But yeah, and I said too, why are y'all giving us a Monday night game? Like this team does not deserve it. I'm sorry. This team went 4-13 last year. We should have been on the Panthers hand or something like that where we've got 0 primetime games because I mean, our team, believe it or not, our team got the hype this season. Obviously, we drafted Marvin Harrison, Darius Robinson. We had a really good draft, but the signings that our general manager has made this season have not lived up to their expectations yet. Sean Murphy Bunting gets cooked every play. Um, a lot of our guys are injured, like Justin Jones, Bible Nichols is out for the year now. Um, Jonah Williams, our right tackle, is going to be out for this game, but he will be back at some point in the season. So while our GM had a good start, he's having a terrible progress so far. So before we get into the score predictions, how would you say the Chargers free agent signings have gone this season?
Well, before I get into that, I also got to tell you that this game is going to be on ESPN Plus. So you say that why did the Cardinals get a primetime game? They put this game on ESPN Plus exclusively. So for those that don't have ESPN Plus, tough tamale. And they put
Right.
Bucks Ravens on the true primetime Monday Night Football game, which I'm a guy who doesn't really have ESPN Plus, but I guess I'm going to have to get it again just because I want to see the Chargers.
Yeah.
I'm even moving set point to another time that day, but I digress on that. All right, but for free agents, I think the Chargers free agents have really panned well for them. I think obviously they lost a lot. They lost Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, Mike Williams. I hope he comes back. And they obviously kept Bosa and Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack. They restructured their contracts. J.K. Dobbins has paid dividends for the Chargers. Everyone thought, oh, well, he's been injury prone, so I don't think he's going to do great. Nah, I think J.K. Dobbins has been the best thing, and with him coming back, coming back to like his dominant Ohio State self, I think that's going to be so huge. Unfortunately, and keep an eye out for Kimani Vidal with Gus Edwards pretty much being out. It looking like, I think Kimani Vidal, who had his first touchdown in the NFL, I think he can get some reps as well, just because he's kind of like Blake Corum, except he's from a smaller school in Troy. He's only 5'8", but he's so fast and shifty. So keep an eye out for Kimani Vidal. But I think for the free agents overall, I think they've worked great for the most part, considering the Chargers lost so much to free agency.
Yeah, right. So man. And we have, I don't know about the Chargers, but for the Cardinals next offseason, we have a cap space of $120 million. So that's the third most in football. And I'm pretty sure Detroit is one of the teams above us. I don't know how Detroit has so much cap space with the team they have right now. But yeah, so we have a lot of money to spend in the offseason, but our owner, who is known for not spending anything, probably will not spend half of that. So it is what it is, but oh well. So let's get to the score predictions. So obviously, if you guys know me, I'm not a guy that does like to do score predictions a lot, but still I'll do it. So I'll start off with you though. So the visiting Chargers, they're 3-2. What do you think the score will be for this game?
See, this is kind of tough. I feel this might be one of those low scoring games. And I think this will be a grinded out game where the Chargers aren't going to go too crazy in terms of points, but I think they'll score just enough. I mean, last week they put 23 up, which was the second highest they've had this season. And their first highest was against Carolina, which doesn't really say a whole lot. But I think the Chargers win. Let's go 24-13.
24-13. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna.
Yep.
I think it's gonna be like tight until like the fourth quarter. I think Arizona might actually turn some heads because your win over the Rams was impressive, and the win over the Niners, that comeback win over the Niners, that was really good. So
It was a fluke. Yeah, don't worry about it.
okay.
At least I say it was a fluke after the way they played last week. I mean, we went back to reality in that game. But
Oh yeah.
I mean, shoot. But it was a division game though, and fun fact, we're 0-for-3 or 0-for-4 now against teams that aren't in our division, but our 2 wins are against division rivals. So we're 2-0 in our division, which is how you know division games can go any way, like no matter how good or bad your team is. So for this game, yeah, I do think it'll be low scoring. Uh, both the Chargers defense, I could see them having another decent day if they can stop our run game, because I always say we're a run first team, or at least that's what Jonathan Gannon has made us look out to be. We are capable of throwing the ball. Kyler Murray doesn't have that bad of passing stats this season, but with Marvin Harrison Jr. potentially out, he's not ruled out officially yet, but if he does not clear concussion protocol, then I could see us running the ball a lot more. And if the Chargers can stop that, then I think it's going to be a very good game on their end and very brutal for us. It just depends on how our defense responds to that terrible performance last week. But assuming our defense just doesn't respond because it's something they haven't done all year, I'm going to pick the Chargers 23, Cardinals 16. So I do have us losing this game. I swear I don't think I predicted this to win any game this season. That's just how it feels. But I don't think I'll do that until we play, I think, Miami next week, because I mean Miami, I think we could actually win that game. But anyway,
Yeah, I think Tua comes
yeah.
back.
Oh, he's coming back in that game? Okay, never mind. We're screwed.
From what I'm hearing, but he still has to pass all his tests and whatnot. But
right,
time will tell.
Yeah, so that is the score predictions. Taryn, I want to thank you for coming on here. I know you had to dodge some bullets because I mean you're at work right now. So
well,
yeah,
I got off 30 minutes early, and thankfully they were nice enough to let me go. And unfortunately, there's a blackout. But I think they've got like the emergency generator.
Okay. Yeah, so I actually had to go to work later. That's why I had to go live a little bit earlier. But
got it.
For all my audience, I promise I will be changing my availability soon, so I will not be changing my time starting January. Starting January, I'm going to be live on time from here on out. All right, 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Today I went live 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, so I guess it was somewhat right. But yeah, once again, Taryn, thank you for coming on here, man. Is there anything else you want to say? I know you're also a volleyball guy, so anything going on regarding California, Arizona, maybe volleyball?
Arizona State's still doing great in terms of the Big 12. They have a very talented team. Keep an eye on this player, Selly Gier. She is very talented, and I think she's Canadian, and she might be thinking of being on the Canadian national team after college, but we'll see. I can't ultimately confirm that fully, but she's phenomenal. Arizona's been doing decent. I'm sure Grand Canyon's probably going to win the WAC. So I know you're more of an ASU guy, but ASU is just on one in terms of the Big 12. I think they have a good chance of winning the Big 12. The only team that I think can maybe stand in their way is probably Kansas.
Kansas, okay. Yeah, but once again, man, thank you for coming on here. Everyone make sure to check out his both of his shows, SoCal Supreme Sports Show, where he talks about California teams, LA teams, in the SoCal area, and then Set Point, where he talks about volleyball. Make sure you go check out both of his shows, guys. And maybe when the Suns and Lakers play something like that, or Dodgers, Diamondbacks, Angels, whatever, we can have you back on here at some point.
Or Rams, Cardinals round 2.
Oh yeah, part 2. Yeah, so you could come on that week as well. I think we don't play you guys till way later. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
But guys, thank you guys for coming on here for episode 14. This has been the AZ Sports Zone. Episode 14 on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Once again, shout out to Taryn Rodriguez for coming on here. Next episode, we got a lot to talk about. We're going to be talking about the post game of the Chargers and Cardinals. Phoenix Suns starting up their season against the Clippers and the Lakers, so both LA teams. And then the Diamondbacks, hopefully some news breaks out. But regarding baseball, hopefully the Dodgers choke at some point, and then we're going to continue college football as well next episode. With that being said, guys, see you guys next Friday. Taryn Rodriguez, anything you want to say before we head on out?
No, I just want to say I appreciate you having me on, and I'm sorry if I had to be in the dark, but I really do appreciate you having me on yet again.
Yep, and guys, he will be back for Rams and Cardinals Part 2, hopefully. But with that being said, guys, see you guys for episode 15 next Friday, 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Have a great rest of your week. Have a great weekend. Enjoy some football. And we are out.